Sugary boogity. Just want to throw you.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Guess what? It's 2016.
Hi-yo.
We're into March. We're back. Heard you missed us? Well, we're back. It's a Sly and the Family Stone album from 1970, I think. But yeah, welcome back. We've got another episode of Mark and Bliss's Super 70s. I am Mark. He is
Bliss.
And tonight, since we took a little hiatus and we're in mid-March now, we have a little bit of catching up that we thought we would do.
This is March Sadness instead of March Madness.
And so tonight's episode...
no, it's just that the thing is, they've slipped off this mortal coil.
They slipped off this mortal coil. So tonight's episode is titled... Four Absent Radio Friends. And our first absent radio friend, and was the first one to leave us very early this year, right after the first of the year, I believe, was Miss Natalie Cole.
This will be
yes,
an everlasting love, me.
The daughter of Nat King Cole. One of the first songs that I ever heard, even before I heard Help. I think I was 5 years old, and 1966 is when Help came out. And it was like just earliest musical memories. I remember Help. I remember used to be able to put these little floppy records even within magazines.
Right.
But it was from a Mad magazine.
Unreal.
Yeah, and it was a floppy record. I don't even know who it was or the artist is novelty artist or whatever, but talking about my first musical impressions, this is why I'm a warped human being now. There was this record he put on, my father didn't even know what it was. He put it on to play it, and it was an instrumental that I'll just have to hum it, how it went. It was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then it was punctuated with a belch. After each.
Spike Jones.
Was that a Spike Jones
Gotta
thing?
be a Spike Jones.
Of course, my father was a guest, of course, but I did notice that he played the whole record. He let the record keep playing. But it was just that with a belch. So my first musical memories were Help, that belching novelty record off of a Mad magazine, and Nat King Cole, because one of the few albums that my parents had when I was that age was, I think, a Nat King Cole in more than one of his albums, not just a greatest hits. It had. So I grew up listening to Ramblin' Rose.
Yeah, yeah.
Why you ramble, no one knows, and of course, Unforgettable and Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
So those songs were imprinted upon me at a very, very early age.
There was a boy.
Yeah.
A very strange and enchanting.
Nat, here's what I'm getting at. When Natalie came along, something that was new for me is that when her hit, and of course her first hit was This Will Be, 1975, which is a nice little swinging song. You can't not like that song. You can't hate the song, let's put it that way. Great little swinging song. I get a smile every time I hear it, and it's on the eHarmony commercials, and I joined one of those sites not too long ago. Related, and I won't name the site.
And he's not even disappointed in the results.
No, actually, I'm ecstatic about the results. This will be, and Casey Kasem, our beloved Casey, announcing the song as it rose the charts. And this is, Nat King Cole's daughter, Natalie. Family business.
Mm-hmm.
Cross-generational. Cross-generation. Like, so there are parents who can have kids, parents in the music business who can have big hits, and they can have kids, and these kids, and it was at the time, isn't that sweet? There's Natalie. She's got her own hit song now. Isn't that sweet? Just like her dad.
Yeah.
And that's got to be the first instance of when I was growing up listening to music that I had any thought of a family business, kids going into their parents' kind of a trade. And that I had fond associations with Natalie Cole simply because of that. Aside from any of the music, and we can talk about some of her hits. Right,
and for me, I know I had heard some Nat King Cole growing up, but I didn't really seriously appreciate it until the 80s when I was working for a radio station, WFEZ, the music of your life.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the music of my life, but I did figure out what I liked about the music of the 40s and the 50s. And so, your Ink Spots, your Mills Brothers, and your Nat King Cole, that was, to me, that was the sweet spot in all of that music. And so Natalie fit right with the kind of disco pop stuff that we were big fans of in the 70s. And then it was like later when I really got to appreciate her father's.
I owned only one Natalie Cole record. Okay, now I listened to her stuff. I like it.
She was on our radio compilations for sure.
My budget was a little tight at the time.
Yeah. And Olivia got his money, basically.
Yeah.
In the sweepstakes at the time.
Sorry, yeah, Olivia Newton-John just edged out Natalie Cole there. But the one record that I dug so much that I just had to buy it. But it was Sophisticated Lady, because I thought it was really funky. And the imagery in it was like, I'll never be able to get out of my head. She went deep sea fishing with her high heel slip, and I think she was saying steppers.
Yeah.
And instead of slippers.
Yeah.
So she wasn't wearing canvas loafers or anything. This was This was Gloria Vanderbilt going deep sea fishing. Right. Sophisticated lady. She is hip to politics. She's acts real cool. So she's hip to she's heard of politics. Right. Politics is that thing where you.
Politics was the Watergate hearings interrupting Gilligan's Island when we were 12.
She's nobody's fool. That's how the line burst into. She was throwing down in more of a funk sense on that song than being the jazzy balladery kind of. As far as what else can you say? Her other hits were pleasant enough. They're pretty nondescript. I mean, you had Our Love.
No, that one I
yeah.
That's a sweet one.
Yeah. Let's see. I've Got Love on My Mind, which I dug.
Right.
And the one that a lot of people forget is called Someone That I Used to Love, not Someone That I Used to Know. That's Go Ye. Okay. But and all very pleasant. But when she really broke out of it was about 20 years after her hits. When she did,
technology had to be the late 80s.
Technology made it possible, and you knew that as soon as technology made something like this possible, that this sort of thing had to happen.
Where she did tear in my beer.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's another good example of that. Very good. But of course, we're referring to her duet with her deceased father, Nat, on "Inseparable."
And I mean no disrespect, but Singing with the Dead would be sort of the name of that series of things. It's aesthetically questionable. It's almost guaranteed to be a million seller, which it was, and take a few Grammys home.
And it did.
Faux nostalgic rush that you get from it. But I'm not punching that up on the jukebox. I'm going to go track down the original, and I'll hear her do her songs. She's part of that very wide river of sweet soul in the 70s.
There you go. So Natalie,
fare thee well.
R.I.P.